believe we will be able to become the company who can lead such technology eras. So that's something that we are actually communicating to our employees. So we will have a summit, G7 will be held next week, and there are many leaders, international leaders, have their own opinions, but at the same time, we believe we need to kind of address such a revolution of technology so that we'll be able to contribute to people's well-being, and that's the kind of a company's philosophy. Companies we are here for. So along with such learnings, we would like to grow the business. So having more good understanding of new technological revolution, we also need to think about how we should be addressing the coming months and years. So in the coming year, that we don't know how the volatility is going to change. Volatility probably remains still high, but at the same time, we should be having a resilience against market volatility. We have to make ourselves in safe position, and as long as we can take a good balance with such resilience, we should not miss any opportunities to invest in good revolutions. Softbank Group, led by Masa, as a business model, not all the investments are successful, but we should not miss the investment opportunities. And we have to have a good and solid financial policy so that we can make sure that we're not going to miss any investment opportunities. That's why we believe our financial policy is important. And therefore, that we have a financial strategy for fiscal 2023. So we have no change at our financial policy, which we've been having. But at the same time, that we would like to have a financial management adaptable to both defense and offense. Financial policy, I have no change in any word here. So same policy as I've been communicating to you in the past few years, maintaining LTV below 25% in normal times, maintain at least 2-year worth of bond redemption in cash. Actually, we have about 6-year equivalents of bond redemption in cash with us. And at the same time, secure recurring distributions and dividend income from Vision Fund and other subsidiaries, that we have to keep good communication with our Vision Fund and also our subsidiaries to make sure that. So we have a very important base, which is our financial policy. And based on that, we will also like to make a good balance with the offense. So resilience is going to be very important. And as long as we can keep our financial policy, then I think that we can go for the next step, which is to invest in information revolution while maintaining financial stability. As a result, when it comes to capital allocation, which is always the very serious discussion in board of directors meeting. So we would like to see how the market change, how the environment change, and the financial policy-wise, that those two major stakeholders, which are the shareholders and the bondholders, and also there are other stakeholders as well. But first, those two major stakeholders are the one that we have to make them happy. So while we keeping our safetiness of our balance sheet, then that we would like to make a good balance in between new investments activities and shareholders' return. For the shareholders' return-wise, I believe that we've been making quite a good numbers return to shareholders. In the past 5 years, about 4.5 trillion yen buyback has been done. I don't think there are many companies like us who has been bought back such a level. So that's something that I hope you appreciate. And we will continue for the discussion. And at the same time, we need a safetiness in balance sheet. We need a good you need to see the good importance and focus on the ratings as well. So while we're keeping the safetiness of balance sheet, that we would like to think about the return to stakeholders as well as the new investment activities. So finally, that I would like to give you a summary. So solid defense is in place, has been in place, and also at the same time getting ready to go on the offensive with the AI revolution on the horizon, and the financial management that drives both defense and offense. In the current business is mainly from two engines. One is Vision Fund, and the other is ARM. And ARM is making a very good step forward, relisting by confidentiality submitting draft for F1. And the Vision Fund, of course, had challenging years, but now that continuously focusing on increasing value of portfolio companies. So relisting is also going to be the good contribution to the Vision Fund performance as well. Vision Fund, that we shouldn't be looking at only 1 year, one fiscal year. It's the activities go on to next year and on. So I want you to see a kind of a long horizon. Japan, for example, as a very good company. So, for example, PayPay is making a very good progress as well. So I hope that you can expect on us for the future. So that is all from me. Thank you very much, and we will be happy to take any questions from you.
Now we'd like to move on to Q&A session. First, we'd like to take questions from the floor. Please wait for the microphone and start with your name and affiliation. For those who are on Zoom, please press raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Please also refrain from connecting to other live stream to avoid any echoing. If you'd like to withdraw your question, please press lower hand button. If you access to Zoom in Japanese, you can ask questions in Japanese as well. We'd like to take up to 2 questions per person so that we can take questions from as many people as possible. We are starting from the floor now. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. Thank you. Lee from Bloomberg. I have 2 questions. First, about ChatGPT. I think that you are very positive about ChatGPT, and yesterday, Miyakawa-san, SBKK, mentioned that they established generative AI company in March. So as a Softbank group, do you have any strategy about AI, generative AI, and ChatGPT? That's the first question.
Or Navneet or Goto-san, especially since it seems like you're teasing out a potential shift into offense mode a little bit. Would that mean a bounce back in investments starting this quarter, since we're kind of into May already? Should we be expecting a bounce back in investments this quarter, or if not, around when? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. The first question about ChatGPT and our approach to generative AI. Yes, you're right. Miyakawa-san talked a lot about ChatGPT, generative AI, and we were worried because he might talk too much. And Son-san had stopped making presentation at financial results announcement for the last 6 months or so. What he has been doing instead is, of course, studying ARM and ARM's business model. And as you know, ARM chip is essential to AI. So working on AI should lead to taking leadership position in AI, excuse me. So in the last few months, there have been a lot of services and products launched in the market. And from our perspective, what kind of businesses that we can create from those opportunities? Those are the things that we are currently working on. Not only things that are available now with the generative AI, but we have a broader vision. Like I said earlier, when Vision Fund was launched, our vision has been such that AI will redefine every industry. Against that background, how and what kind of companies that we should work with, and how we can implement strategies as a Softbank group, that's important. Yes, Amiyaka-san mentioned that he created a company, just created a company. So it's not a big deal yet. But as approach to AI, that indicates something to you. And as a parent company of Softbank KK, which is an operating company, Mr. Son looks at this big theme and how we approach, how we are going to work on at a general shareholders meeting. I hope that Mr. Son will share his view as much as possible. Nothing is confirmed or finalized yet, but we'll see how it goes. Navneet, second question, please.
In terms of investment activity, as Goto-san said, during the defense mode, over the last 12 months, we have been making investments, but we are very selective and deliberate about those. And as we find new investing opportunities that are attractive, we will continue to make investments.
So I guess not really not much clarity on how big, I guess, the investments could be.
It really depends on the opportunity. If it's a very attractive opportunity, we can invest considerably. So it really depends on the opportunity. Is the investment opportunity leveraging artificial intelligence? Is this a good tech stack? Do they have positive unit economics? And is this a company that can scale? So depending on the investing opportunity, we would be looking to invest.
Thank you.
If I may add, for example, 3 years ago, we invested 5 trillion yen over 12 months or so. So back then, what we did was to make an investment as much as possible to cover broadly. But now we are facing against the wind, and we have to ensure financial soundness and financial strength. So we have to be very selective in terms of investment. So we can't charge ahead right away. We will be selective continuously.
Thank you. We'd like to take next question. So next gentleman to the current person who made a question. I am Wada from Nikkei newspaper. I have 2 questions, please. The first one is about Alibaba. So how much % of the holdings do you have in Alibaba, and of which how much are used for the forward contract? So with the settlement with such forward contract, can we say that effectively you have used up all the shares? Effectively, all the shares are being used for the such forward contract and some others. There are some details there which is going to be a bit complicated, but overall, I would say from the financing point of view, all the share has been utilized. And with us right now, we have shares which will be decided whether to sold or settle in shares at the time the maturity comes. Thank you. Regarding Credit Suisse, that I would like to ask you. So this green sale, which was the investee of the Vision Fund, and there are a legal lawsuit or the claim is made by Credit Suisse, and I would like to ask you how you position about. This is very unfortunate, and the Credit Suisse, we've been very close with them, and this time a green sale, which was also an investee of Vision Fund, and from the Credit Suisse point of view, the green seal was a counterpart for the financial transactions, and I believe they had a good relationship as well. But at this time, the legal lawsuit, they are the kind of a lender and a lending business, and they are saying that the money they lent is not repaid. So asking other person to pay that back for them, that's something that they are doing. Because Green Sale has been our investee, and they were at the time facing challenging environments. So while we supporting them and had a hope that they can turn around and made a growth, and there are times where that we have provided additional resource in return that they have provided the convertible shares, and that resource was to use for the repayments, and they should have been using such resource for the repayments. However, that has not been actually used for the repayment, which was not our decisions, and we have no such responsibilities for their decisions. We provided, took the risk and provided support for them to turn around. And because that money did not come back to Credit Suisse, so that Credit Suisse is upset about us. And about 3 years ago, that our legal team made a very thorough investigation and very thorough reports on that. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I have no doubt that we're going to lose the case on this matter. So I'm very sad that this case has been raised, because Credit Suisse was one of the very close financial institutions. And I cannot understand why this kind of claim has been raised. And we had about 20 years of relationship with the Asia-Pacific region of the Credit Suisse. Because of the management of the Credit Suisse, they may have some reasons which we have no idea, but has to make such claim. So this is baseless claim that they are making, and I don't want to lose our reputation because of such a baseless claim. So that if there is any speculations or any speculated articles, then I will be sure to clarify our positions and our understandings. there are some ways that or tactics that you may be able to use by providing or not providing information, but I don't want to lose such a game. So that's something that I would like to position